Hello and welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. This is the next game in the Warhammer 40k universe, and I gotta say, this is looking absolutely fantastic. If you are into CRPGs, this is actually the first classic CRPG set in the Warhammer universe, and it is made by none other than Owlcat Games. These are the fellows that are associated with the Pathfinder series, and they have done an absolutely amazing job with the freedom of choice in these games. Absolutely incredible the amount of character build variety, and in this game you're going to have exactly the same kind of deal. And obviously you've got this wonderful Warhammer flair. So anyway, this video is kindly sponsored by Owlcat Games, and if you'd like to check it out, there is a link in the description. You can also get it on PlayStation, Xbox, and so on. But let's start a new game right here. We got the main story, and we got a massive amount of difficulties. They really love to give you all kinds of customizations here as well. We're going to play on... Should we play on story? You know what? I'm going to play on story to make it a little bit smoother for us. You can play a pre-generated character, or you can create a custom character completely your own. And this is actually one of the biggest... As I said to you just now, one of the biggest draws to games made by Owlcat, because they are just giving you everything you could want. They're giving you every single bit of control over how you look. You got your hair, tattoos, augmentations, your voices, and so on and so forth, including your portrait, obviously. And indeed, you can even, as far as I'm aware, you might be able to upload your own. I'm actually not entirely sure about that, but you might be able to upload your own. Anyway, then obviously you have a variety of different benefits from choosing different worlds that your character comes from. You have the ability to choose your origin, so you can, for example, be a sanctioned psyker if you so desire, or you could be a crime lord if you prefer. And then you've obviously got your triumph here, which is just, you know, something else to add a little bit of flavor to your character by the looks of things. And then you have your darkest hour here as well, once again. More flavorful things to go with. And then obviously you have a wide variety of different archetypes to choose from too. So warrior, officer, operative, and soldier, and these all go into different advanced classes. And this is a little bit similar to the Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous experience, where once again you do have like a base character, base class, and then it goes into an advanced class, and then from the advanced class you pick a mythic class, but in this case it's this down at the bottom here, the exemplar. And this is, yeah, as you could quite clearly tell, pretty crazy. You're gonna see exactly, this is exactly what I mean. So many different things to choose from. I'm just gonna pick something random here, where we're gonna be playing with a pre-generated character, but I just wanted to run you through these insane amounts of different character options here, because it is just incredible. Then obviously you have all your different stats. You've got your weapon skill, ballistic, toughness, agility, perception, willpower, and indeed fellowship as well, which is to do with deceiving, charming, and befriending people. And high fellowship will help a character find a way to approach a gathering of unsociable servants, or to effortlessly make deals with treacherous merchants. And you, of course, have your skills, which are athletics, and demolition, and medicine, and tech usage, and so on and so forth. And you have all of these available dependent on what you decide to choose. So, for example, if you increase your weapon skill right here, and I'm going to increase my ballistic skill as well, and then let's say I want to increase my intelligence just a little bit, it increases all of these stats at the same time. So I can increase my fellowship here a little bit more too, and then we can just go onward. And this is your ship. You are basically playing as a rogue trader, and you have access to this thing called a warrant of trade. And this is basically a thing that provides you with immense power, and it allows you the ability to explore and expand the Imperium's frontiers. And you're going to be able to absolutely do that. You can take your ship wherever you want. And then obviously you have the ability to decide the fates of entire worlds. Choices in this game actually matter a really big deal. And then of course you obviously do have your companions. Inevitably you're going to have some companions that will obviously come along and join you, and yeah, they're all very vivid as well. I've actually played some of this already, and the voice acting is absolutely fantastic. It's really good. And of course, turn-based tactical combat. You've got the wonderful turn-based combat, and we're actually going to be playing as this fellow right here. I actually really like this guy. I've played with him before, and he's a warrior, as you can see right there. But obviously, you have a wide variety of different things. Maybe we should play someone different. No. I actually like this guy quite a bit, so we're going to play as him, and I'm not going to be customizing him at all. We're just going to be leaving him the way he is, and we're obviously going to just change the name of our ship right here. I'm just going to call it Unforgiven or something. You can just randomize it however you so desire. And yeah, you can obviously change it yourself and customize it however you like. And you can also edit your name. So I'm just going to change it to, I'll just change it to my own name. I'm just going to call it Reform or whatever. that seems good enough to me. And let's go and head into the game.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
And this is our first fellow that we get to interact with, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers right now, but hopefully we'll be able to see exactly what he's all about a little bit later on. As you can see, you have choice in dialogues, of course, as you might expect from any really good CRPG. You're going to have a wide variety of different conversation options. This game is also made in very close partnership with Games Workshop themselves, so you can best bet that every single thing that you're going to see here is very accurate to the Warhammer universe. I know how people are really, big sticklers for that, and that's exactly what this game is going to give you. So, as you can see, we're just going to say, do you have a particular reason for disturbing me?
My apologies. I did not seek you out to pester you with unwanted attention. Allow me to introduce myself. Kunrad Voidfear, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Yes, indeed. So here we go. We've already gotten a little bit of a name drop right there. Theodora is currently a rogue trader. I'm not entirely sure what we are. I mean, it says here we are a divisional commissar of the Officio Prefectus. Reformed Xanathor is actually our name, apparently. That is our official title. And Theodora is a rogue trader, which is a subject of the Imperium with a unique hereditary title. A rogue trader is tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. And now, bear in mind that in this game, you are going to be able to collect resources known as supplies, and these supplies can curry all kinds of different favor with a variety of different sources, and then you can use that favor for your own ends. It's very cool. Anyway.
My regards, Commissar. Finding you was a difficult task given your parents' fate, and your upbringing in the Schola Progenium. Truly our meeting is an act of providence, is it not?
Oh, and as you can see, he said, look at this, Voidveer smiles faintly, but you are not sure it is directed at you.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
And so there you go. That is exactly, it's very good storytelling, because it's basically telling you exactly the reason why you're here and is exactly what is going on. So in other words, we are now, basically could be another candidate. Let's actually ask about the other candidate.
There is, and you will meet him soon enough.
Ooh, a man of few words, apparently. All right, well, I'm going to continue, and let's see what will happen. Alright, so we're already in a battle. This is the first battle that we are going to be in, and we've obviously got to kind of learn how to deal with the combat system. This is kind of like the initial tutorial, let's just say. Now, here's the cool thing about this. I absolutely love the fact, obviously this is Warhammer through and through, so that everything is extremely brutal. This is our movement allowance, and then you obviously have action points on the other side. So what's really cool is they're actually separating these two things, and every single turn your action points are going to return back to the maximum. that you have. And so we're just going to end the turn right here. And these are malfunctioning servitors. So this is basically what is the main threat, at least initially. And we're going to see it's not going to stay just those things, that's for sure. And now we have been tasked with finding Theodora herself, and I've just managed to find her. So, as you can see, she's currently speaking to a fellow called Ethelthrad, and he says, "That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora," says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. Theodora, the tall, grey-haired woman, pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. "Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation, no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Aeon 6, Ethelthrad?" Alright, and so obviously we now get the opportunity. We can either survey the room, we can interrupt, or we can listen in silence. I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what he has to say, so I'm going to listen in silence. "While you are considering your answer, Ethelthrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent babbling." Theodora nods in your direction. "Approach." "What is this?" Ethelthrad turns towards you and regards you with indignation. "Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?" "I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it." Theodora tilts her head, her lips stretch into a cold smile. "This is Reform, the stupidest named candidate for the title of my successor." The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. "Step forward." Alright, so now this is obviously where you're going to be able to, flex your conversational muscles. And, well, for me specifically, I have the ability to choose both of these laws. We have Xenos and we have Warp. And you can obviously decide on a number of other things. You could just go, "I do not know." You could literally just go, "I do not know." But yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go for Warp, I guess. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several Psykers to do so, but it will give us the answer. Theodora smirks. "Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one Psyker who could serve me well for many years, yet you speak of several." Ethelthrad looks at you with the warmth of a snake. "Sanctioned Psykers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne. Or do you, Reform, suggest that we use heretics who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants." And so on. And this is exactly what you want from a CRPG. You want people to literally... Oh, they're just fighting, they're butting heads so dramatically right here. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. Oh, what do we got going on here? Alright, I basically told Ethelthrad to shut his mouth, or I would shut it for him. And he basically said, "You miserable vermin. Let's see how you like that kind of thing when, And then Theodora basically came in and interrupted us from basically getting almost into, fisticuffs. Oh, almost immediately. But now we've been ambushed, as you can see. We've been ambushed by a wide variety of not malfunctioning servitors and actual different people. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but we're going to be fighting alongside Theodora here, as well as Ethelthrad. He's going to go over there and just going to absolutely murder. Oh, that guy actually parried. One thing you got to know about the gameplay, by the way, is that melee attacks cannot miss. However, every single enemy has the ability to dodge and also has the ability to parry. So that is the inherent difficulty with melee attacks. But obviously ranged attacks have the inherent, function that they're going to miss. Potentially, they have the ability to miss. Anyway, I'm basically just going to go... I'm probably just going to go over here, to be honest, because as you can see, what a wonderful, wonderful quality of life improvement. This. When you click on a particular square on the floor right there, you get that little laser beam that goes towards the various enemies, and it basically tells you, am I in line of sight of this guy if I move over there? And that's what it tells you. So it's really, really fantastic. I love that kind of thing. Anyway, 95% chance. I'm going to just kill this guy because he's going to flank us otherwise. Boom, boom, boom. He's dead. And hopefully... Yeah, that was a critical hit as well. That was very nice. And hopefully we'll be okay here. And there goes the final enemy. As you can see, she now says, Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Horson survive. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of warp transitions. She looks at the Vox in her hand. All you can hear is a lifeless static, and you can see exactly what Vox is if you're not particularly familiar, like with the Warhammer universe, like I am, for example. So you can see here a piece of technology used to communicate over short distances or to record sound. Very useful. It seems like it's our old friend. Look at that. He says, "Thank Providence, you are alive and well." Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up, always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Conrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The arch-militant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here? I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant has destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the Enginarium regarding any Geller field failures. But communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. He pauses. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Okay, well, we must provide assistance. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A Psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I try to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Reform. And she glances at us. If I may, Lord Captain. Voidvir's voice is soft and cautious. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed arch-militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers. Okay, so in other words, we're gonna be going with him then, I assume. Then it's settled. Reform, find Edelthrad and bring him here, in whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both, do you understand? I shall do everything in my power. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Ooh. I like her. I like her. Alright, something tells me something bad's gonna happen. Oh no. Well, hopefully we'll be okay. Let's see what Conrad has to say here. Hopefully we're going to be able to find Edelthrad here. Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. Looks like Conrad's a bit of a traitor. Willpower test succeeded, the voices in your head persist in their demands, and yet you feel this unseen chorus momentarily waver under the strength of your resolve, until the intruding influence forces you to your feet and pushes you toward the gate looming in the center of the chamber. And so, yeah, that was basically a skill test, and we have enough willpower to be able to make it. So that's what I did. That's it, you know? And obviously we've got Kunrad here. He's basically saying, join me or die, pretty much. And I decided, hey, you know what? Why not? Shall we join him? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to accept that. Maybe not. But we are the heir, and so as a result of this, we potentially have the ability to access the vault, which is where the warrant of trade is. Or at least, I think so. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. And we can use tech use, and we succeeded on that, so that's wonderful. And we are apparently looking at a technological relic known as Archaeotech. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. And so we now have the opportunity. This is the, oh, I love these kinds of decisions. Okay, let's have a look. Place your hand into the sentinel's maw. Bear in mind it has extremely razor-sharp teeth, so let's do it. The sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long moments pass. The sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. And we can say, yes, I do require assistance, actually. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way.
Look at that. Oh yeah, see? There are so many different ways of handling the situations that the game presents you. It's absolutely fantastic. I love that. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, to be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely into the darkness, to boldly hold the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, and so on. I couldn't read all of it, unfortunately. It was a bit too quick for me. Anyway, here we go. Yes, so now basically we have the Vox skull right here, who apparently is kind of helping us right now. Okay, I need to contact someone.
Vox cast frequencies disrupted.
That's disrupted. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? As the game story unfolds, you will see notifications at the top of the screen. We have a journal, of course, and we can access that with J, and it basically tells you everything you need to know about, you know, your main quest. And then as the game progresses, you're going to be discovering rumors. So I'm going to assume that, you know, if you stop off at a trade outpost or you stop off somewhere where there's a number of, shall we say, unsavory individuals, you're probably going to be able to find out some rumors. And then obviously you have your more official or unofficial contracts with which you can participate. So yes, apart from that, let's move on out, shall we? And seal the warrant chamber.
Master, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Konrad Voidvir is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
I think that's funny. Oh, that is super funny. I mean, to be fair, he is correct. However, you know what? I'm going to say it. Why don't we leave matters of etiquette for another time?
Absolutely. With the Lord Captain's permission, I shall give you an hour-long lecture on how making use of proper addresses corresponds to showing due faith in the God Emperor's anointed. For now, however, we have more pressing matters on our hands.
Oh, I like him. He's funny.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
And he hands us a weapon. We've got an axe, an auto pistol, flak, chest plate, and a medikit. And so we now have the opportunity, because he has now joined us in our party, which is absolutely fantastic. We can now, obviously this is basically if you want to highlight things, so you just hold tab if you want to do that. But this is our this is our inventory screen, and you can just switch between them at your leisure. We are obviously going to be equipping the medkit here. This is where you can use all of your stuff, basically all your consumables and so on. And then obviously you have a wide variety of different pieces of gear. Otherwise, we're just going to be equipping all of these things for my main character, of course, because the other fellow actually already has his gear.
Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. But that is not the worst of it all. All these... Cut. The Lord...
Alright, here we go. We got our second combat encounter right here. Actually, is it our second? No, it's actually our third combat encounter right here. And this is definitely going to be a much harder one because there's only two of us, but there's a whole bunch of them, as you can see. So basically what we can do is, obviously, as you might expect, you can, before battle, decide where you want your characters to be. Oh, Abelard should not go there. Yeah, he should be like somewhere down here, I think, because he's a melee character. And, well, technically we are a melee character as well, but I personally feel like we have more ranged attacks, more than anything, I think. So I'm just going to place myself around about there, and then we'll just start the battle, see how we can do. Now, he's obviously going to be an absolute beast. He's going to be very, very difficult to eliminate, and he also has attack of opportunity. So if you actually use attack of opportunity really, really well, which I probably would recommend, because let's face it, attack of opportunity is super, super powerful, or at least it seems really, really powerful in this game. So I'd highly recommend using that as best you can. Anyway, there's a wonderful little pistol shot right there. Take him out. I have no problems whatsoever with that. And hopefully we're going to be able to use some abilities. This guy is actually a warrior, which is actually quite funny because we already have a warrior technically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use cleave, and boom. Oh, we could have actually... Oh, look at that guy. He literally... He got limbs cut off and everything. Wow, I didn't expect that. But we really should. It's Warhammer after all. They are not known for holding back, that's for sure. Anyway, I actually intended to murder both of those guys with the wonderful cleave attack, but that was unfortunately not available. What about charge? We can actually charge right here, and I can just charge straight through these guys. I'm actually not entirely sure if it's going to hit both of them. Is it? Oh, it didn't hit both of them, unfortunately. I'm actually not entirely sure what that even does, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, we're just going to strike them. Boom. There you go. That guy's dead. It's actually so cool that we can get into melee as well. I actually really like that. And, oh yeah, by the way, there is friendly fire. There's full friendly fire in this game. So, for example, if you hit someone with a projectile, or if you shoot in the direction of your ally, you have a possibility to hit him, and obviously you don't really want to do that. You want to try and prevent that as best you can. But attack of opportunity, as I said, is actually a super important ability as well. I'm actually gonna... Can I charge? Yeah, I can. That's absolutely fantastic. So now we have basically locked this guy down so he can't actually go anywhere. Because attack of opportunity, as I say, is very effective and has proven itself in my time playing to be really fantastic. Who are we gonna meet now? That's the question. Who are we gonna meet now? I think I know.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Master, watch your head. Theodora, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
This is Theodora Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valensis.
And there you go, yeah, she's actually a psyker. Very cool. And she's most likely going to be joining our party.
Follow my lead. At your beck.
Oh, already killed that guy. Wow, that was really nice and easy. Basically, we just came into this room. These guys were all firing at this fellow right here. I believe this is the Navigator, and they're surrounded by a shield right now, so that's actually very good. And you can see here, you can use the hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions in combat before taking them. Click this on any accessible cell on the battlefield to place the character's hologram there. Select an ability to see the expected outcome. That's actually super useful. So for example, you can place the hologram right there, and then you can use something specifically, like for example this, and then you can see exactly what kind of percentage you're going to get from that. For me personally, I don't really want to move anywhere, so I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is. And we're just going to go for a nice little 60% chance. That actually hit him, but it missed the other fellow. Actually quite funny that technically the bullet could have penetrated that first character and then hit the second one. That would have been really cool. Anyway, we'll go for a charge here. And we'll just go right next to that fellow. Theodora is a psyker and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses, and her psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's line of sight. So in other words, you can do more damage to them. Yes, it's absolutely fantastic. So you can analyze enemies. It has a cooldown of literally 1 round, which is actually hilarious. That is so incredibly good. And also, the Psyker increases the target's dodge and parry by 10% until the end of combat. That's very useful too. I think I'm just going to deal some damage here. Let's just kill that guy. Boom. I love that. That is fun. Oh, that is super fun. I believe Master Vespiadus still lives. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive. Okay, let's just ask Theodora, I guess. Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one. Your time is short. Well, you're in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. Oh dear. His body is not his. Okay, so we're gonna get attacked. Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp, but it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, so we're making our way to the officer's deck now, and as you can see, we got some problems. Oh yeah, we got some pretty big ones. Oh dear.
Somebody shoot this! I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My god, my light, my emperor.
Oh, who is that? Ooh, hello there. Okay, wait a minute, what is this? You have found an item that can only be equipped by characters of a certain conviction rank. You can open the character menu to see which conviction your character follows. Ah, okay. Hello there. So I should probably do that as soon as I can. Anyway, the white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment it seems she is not going to stop, and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Well, I guess I'll just say Reform von Valentius, their Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends who are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the arch-enemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
The Seneschal is right. There is no time for talk.
Very well. We may leave it at that, for now. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
And we're going to use the law Imperium, which we succeeded at, by the way. Oh, yes, yes. I'll pat myself on the back for succeeding at a check that's probably not too difficult. What is a warrior of the Adepta Sororitas? Oh, man. Okay, pronunciations. Doing aboard a rogue trader's ship. Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
It seems like he's not. He doesn't have any voices. So I will voice this fellow. We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a technomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one. Alrighty. Okay, so do we have to go in here? To our right, the door is closed, but the lock looks intact. It can probably be opened with the right tool. Okay, I'm going to have a look at my convictions. These are convictions, I assume. I think these are the things that we're talking about right here. And then we obviously have features. Obviously, this is just our talents and, you know, various other things that we can look at. Then we have our archetypes. Obviously, we've already seen that, where we can become Assassin, Vanguard, and so on. And then we obviously have reputations with the varieties of different factions in the game as well. And then we, of course, have our biography here, which I can't wait to see what actually gets filled out in that, to be honest. Let's actually have a look and see what Abelard is. Yeah, as you can see, he is iconoclast. So he's going to be having a bunch of things that are related to that. We have Idira, who is heretical. And then we have Argenta, who is dogmatic. So that's very cool. Really, really nice spread of things. Hilariously enough, I apparently have one in each. And there we have it. She apparently opened the door. That's very, very good. Okay, so by the right of blood, let us move forward and start the battle. Here we go. All right, we got some heretic cutthroats right here. We got some assailants. These guys are going to be easy. The assailants are going to be easy, that is. Everyone else, maybe not so much. Okay, so first of all, let's just get over here. Let's get our characters into position. Abelard can just go straight at the front. Idira can take a little bit of cover, and Argenta can just go over there. That seems pretty good to me. And hopefully, yes, Abelard's going to draw a bunch of attention, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. That is his warrior self. And we're going to get a little bit of a better idea as to how a real battle is going to be, because so far we've not actually had too many issues. But anyway, Argenta is a sister of battle and a soldier. She is an expert with burst ranged weapons and weapons that deal damage in an area. Another of Argenta's strengths is her mobility in combat. And so run and gun, in other words, allows you to gain extra movement points and reduces the cost of their next attack by -1 action points. So in other words, the ability to run and gun. Yes, it's absolutely wonderful. Love that. Okay, so let's do this. We've got burst fire right here, and this is where you could hit people on your own team. For example, as you can see right there, it has a 26% chance to hit me, as far as I'm aware. That might not be particularly good. I think I'm probably just going to go and shoot this guy. Nice. Okay, that was decent enough. I wasn't really trying to go for something too dramatic right there, but I really do want to make sure that we eliminate this guy as soon as possible. Let's take him down. Boom. He has no psychic defense whatsoever by the looks of things, so yeah, he just got absolutely murdered. Perfect. What? How did he... Did he just kill one of his own troops? I think he killed one of his own troops. Why did he do that? I guess he just, he just decided to do it. Anyway, that guy managed to parry, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't. Anyway, full and partial cover gives you the opportunity to avoid enemy attacks. So, in other words, a full cover gives you 60% chance to not get hit, and partial gives you 35%. That's actually pretty good. I think partial cover is really nice, actually. 35% for partial, when partial is going to be much more likely to find. So I think that's pretty cool. Some cover can be destroyed by melee attacks, area attacks, and other abilities. And a single shot can penetrate through any cover. So you got to bear that in mind. Sometimes you're not going to have too many easy ways to avoid damage. Anyway, I'm just going to move over here, and we're just gonna slap him. Boom. Yeah, I actually got an upgrade out in the hallway. There was like an axe lying on the ground there, and I was like, yes, let me pick that up. That was absolutely fantastic. It actually gave me, I think it's like 4, 5, 6 more damage or something like that. So I think that's pretty amazing. Ooh, it seems like we have a jammed door on our hands. A particularly bad result of a tech use test can cause the door to become permanently stuck and impossible to open. All right, so we have we have one over there. We also have a bunch of goods in this section right here as well. I'm trying to, collect as much of that as we possibly can. There's actually a lot to scavenge around here, hilariously enough. What else do we have here? A machine right set. These are expendable items. A multi-key. Okay, hello. That might be somewhat useful.
Follow my lead.
Oh, we got some goods on the table here as well. I'm just going to try and pick up as much as I can. And let's open it up. I could use the machine right set right here, or I could use logic. Should I try using logic? Your character is about to make a tech use skill test. In dialogue and during exploration, you often make various skill tests. Each skill test has a difficulty of up to 100. To succeed, you must roll a value less than the sum of both stated difficulty and the value of the skill used. For example, you're attempting a test with difficulty of -10, and your character's tech use skill score is 40. So, for example, 40 minus 10 is 30, so therefore you must roll a 30 or less. Any result above 30 will mean failure. Note that difficulty is calculated from greater to lower values. The greater the difficulty, the easier it is to pass the test. Ah, demolition. Yes, I will very, very much do that. Nice. Oh, I love that. That's so incredibly satisfying to be able to destroy the environment like that. Okay, so let's actually level up once again. So we have new ranks available in Endure. So until the warrior's next turn, all incoming damage is reduced by your TGH bonus. I don't know what TGH actually means right here, but I guess we'll figure it out. Toughness. There you go. Easy. All right, understandable.
Would you look at that?
The roar of of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You're surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the sound of footsteps, and then you see the figure walk out of the fire toward you. It is Theodora von Valencius. Her expression is calm, terrifyingly so for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of her power sword, the other is raised in an inviting gesture. "Are you lost, my heir?" Argenta goes as still as a statue, then slowly raises her weapon. An apparition! A sorceress apparition! Trickery of the warp! "Sister, you will lower your weapon." Despite his commanding tone, Abelard does not sound too confident. He is staring at the rogue trader, and you notice a muscle in his cheek twitching. "Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous." Okay, well, I'm gonna say, aren't you in pain? Pain is but a reflection of one's weakness. To renounce weakness of spirit in pursuit of greatness is the only path to heights worthy of a rogue trader. Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns on your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you weapons so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to your ears. The entity that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer. And that answer can be nothing other than acceptance. "Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you're resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul." "To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace." "The people." Abelard looks back at the coughing and confused people around you. "Reform the survivors from the middle decks. We must help the crew, lead them out, find a way around." Over the roaring flames, you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams, muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them. Oh, here we go! We've got an amazing choice right here. Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Ada. Adira breaks off and starts coughing violently. Her knees buckle and she looks like she is about to fall. "Reform, what are we waiting for?" So, sometimes your character will have to make tough decisions based on their values, interests, and goals. Such decisions affect their convictions. This can develop in 3 directions: dogmatic, iconoclast, and heretical. Each includes 5 ranks. The higher the rank, the more zealously the character follows their convictions, and the more noticeably the world around them reacts to their actions and decisions. Promotions through the ranks of each of the 3 directions opens up access to new dialogue lines, events, unique abilities, and also changes the attitude of others toward your character. I love that. I love those kinds of things. That is so absolutely amazing. Alright, so let's have a look. Walk through the fire. Dogmatic. Heretical, take my pain away and give me power. Or get the people off the bridge. I will not leave my people in harm's way. I actually have no idea what to go for. This is a really tough choice. Because I'd love to see what actually happens if we walk through the fire. I'd love to see what happens if we accept the offer of help. But, I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna just do I'll do the goodie option, okay? I'll do the goodie option and we'll try to save our people. You look away and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn, and the voices of the people behind the shroud of smoke grow stronger and hopeful. Once you and your companions rush back, barking orders and guiding the survivors. In your determination, you completely forget about Theodora, and when you turn your head, you see nothing but the billowing fire. Okay, there you go. Whew, so it was some kind of warp illusion by the looks of things. Okay, good to know. Okay, well, let's make our way around here. I'm going to assume we're going to get ambushed yet again. The game just auto-saved, and if I know anything about auto-saves, they'll know that, you know, something's going to happen here. Crash the platform. What does this do? Oh. Hello. Did that actually do anything for us? Oh, it did! It made a bridge. Okay, that's fantastic. Look at that. 80% chance for us to do that, actually. So we didn't have a 100% chance to succeed there.
Too late. We are too late. Or perhaps Edelthrad and his escort never made it here. Which would be even worse.
Or they could be fighting on the bridge as we speak. Without us.
My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us. So now we will follow you through thick and thin.
Ah, look at that. So we already have a, shall we say, a consequence of our actions. And as you can see, look at that. We've got some additional help right now. I'm going to assume that with the other options, you would also have some kind of benefit, or maybe even a disadvantage. Who knows?
To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say there is one thing that I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now, at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest that we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We can use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Mort headed for earlier.
Alright, so we're doing something completely different here. It says make it to the meeting with the heir. We're not doing that, and instead we are doing the other thing, which is using the secret lift. I am blown away already by the fact that we have multiple branching options here in the prologue. I think that's absolutely hilarious. In the prologue, that is amazing. Let's do this. Okay, something is in there. There are some goods over here, so I would like to collect those. Thank you very much. And is there anything else in here? Yeah, we do. Yeah, also, holding tab does give you the highlights of the various things in the area, so it's really, really good to do if you don't want to miss anything, or if you think that there's potentially something available here. Oh, we got some more goods available. Ooh, what do we have? Machine right set and Lex Mechanics goggles. Okay, hello. Thank you very much. Okay, so what do these actually give? +3 logic. So who's actually good at logic? No one. No one's good at logic here. Okay, I guess I'm just going to keep these until we actually get a companion that is decent at logic. It's not looking good right now, I gotta say. Oh no! Okay, this is real bad. We've just entered her quarters. As you can see, this is what's happened. She seems to have taken a, well, a rather unfortunate thing to the brain, and we will now be in a situation where we are gonna run around like a headless chicken, because she was the head honcho here. Theodora von Valencia's body is sprawled on the large, blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is slumped against one of the bulkheads.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls.
No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere.
I doubt it. Voidveer wished humiliation and suffering upon Theodora, not a swift death.
It could have happened in the heat of battle. Not to mention that Mort was here, and he would have protected Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye. A heap of blood-spattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. I'm gonna ask Adira what these shards tell her.
I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Kunrad and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure.
Tainted witchcraft.
I'm going to inspect the shards myself. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent, rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium. Promethium is a broad term for combustible fuel in the Imperium of Man, if you didn't know, because I didn't. So let's inspect the papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. XC, huh? Okay, interesting. Lore Imperium. And sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter, addressed to Theodora von Valencia, signed it with the seal of one of the Holy Orders of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunt heretics, xenos, and other enemies of humanity. Okay, well, let's. I'm gonna ask Adira whether touching Theodora would actually make any difference, but let's see.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story.
Ah, okay. Understandable. So she can't actually see anything from actual bodies, but from objects? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, that's good to know. An auto-pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the arch-militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything.
Adira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
Alright, wow. There you go. Look at this. The drama is absolutely palpable right here. Okay, so goods. I will now loot her safe. Because that sounds like a very honorable thing to do, doesn't it? But well, we're in desperate times, desperate measures, and so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm just going to go over here, loot some more goods. What do we have? The wearer of this amulet gains a +10 bonus to commerce and lore. That's absolutely fantastic. I think I'm probably going to wear that myself, to be fair. A +5 fellowship for each enemy. What is fellowship? I need to actually look at that. Fellowship is this thing. Interact with other... yes. I will probably do that. Ooh, it changes my cosmetic look. Oh, I didn't even realize. That's so cool. Yes, please give me more of those things. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also going to put this on because I actually do have Lore Imperium quite often. And as you can see, there's the letter. I'm actually not entirely sure. Can I read that? I can. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to read this, but if you want to skip ahead, obviously you can go ahead and do that. Esteemed Theodora, a change in circumstances has demanded your immediate assistance in our mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing the necessary preparations of the crew, you are to depart for the RECAD system. One of my agents, Interrogator Heinrichs van Kallox, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer any assistance required of you, after which you will provide him passage to the Furibundus system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove himself from your presence to await further instructions. Anticipating any questions you may have, I will stress that the nature of Interrogator Van Calyx's activities on Ricad Minoris is of no concern to you. If required, Van Calyx himself will disclose the details of his mission. May the Emperor's light be with you. XC. Interesting. I love these kinds of things. I love murder mysteries and detective. You know, playing detective a little bit here and there is always fun. Ah, yes, it does look as though we are going to be ambushed. Hilariously enough, though, I actually clicked behind them, and now I'm behind them instead of in front. I think that's very funny. Alright, that's actually pretty good for me, to be honest. So Abelard is pretty much just going to go down here. Can he go down here? Where can he go? He can't go into melee with any of them, but he's going to go here. And then myself will go here. And then Idira will probably just go there. Argenta, we don't want them to get into melee or anything like that. Armor protects the character from incoming damage. Light and medium armor types are both available to you at the moment. The armor stat indicates what % of incoming damage from an enemy attack it can absorb. The type of armor also influences the chance that the character wearing it will pass a dodge test. The higher the dodge penalty, the lower the chance to dodge an enemy attack. Alright, good to know. So, Abelard, you're literally just going to go straight up to these guys right here. And he's just going to cleave them. Boom. I love that. I absolutely love that. This is a boss, by the way. This guy's got 26 HP. So I have a feeling that we're going to have some issues. Maybe going to have some issues with them. Expose Weakness removes all exploits from the target to decrease the target's dodge, parry, and armor. That's actually really, really cool. Yeah. I love the Operative, actually. I think the Operative is such a fun class. Anyway, let's have a look here. What do we want to do? Well, I can do a guaranteed 6 to 16 damage. So I think I'm probably just going to do that against the Combat Servitor. We only did 7. That's not that good, unfortunately. Let's analyze enemies here as well. There we go. We can actually do that. This guy is going to be super, super slow, but he's going to do Oh, no, I was actually thinking he would do much more damage than that, but I'm very pleased that he's doing so little. And Idira is going to be the one that does the most damage, I suppose. Yep. Look at that. Oh, love that. It's guaranteed damage. Guaranteed massive, massive damage right there. Really nice. Okay, so we can now loot all of them. By the way, you don't have to loot all of them individually. There is an AoE loot system in place here, which I absolutely love. That is so incredibly useful. And now we can go to the Voidship Bridge.
The first sacrifice.
Oh dear. Okay, we got a bit of a problem right here.
The second victim will become a decoy.
You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that, I don't know, Voidveer, he did seem as though he wanted to have revenge. He wanted to humiliate the rogue trader, well, Theodora, rather than anything else, but maybe he was left with no choice. I don't know. I mean, he's done all of this for some reason, and I suppose we're going to have to find out. We're going to have to chase him. Anyway, help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader. Well, unfortunately, the Lord Captain will not be joining us. No, the rogue trader is dead. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second, the warp ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the Warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed. I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating. Okay, well, let's have a look here. Yeah, there we go. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the Navigator's Sanctum. Then we have no right to bow our heads. Alright, let's do it. We might be able to save the ship still. I can't believe we're just letting him do that. We could just shoot him. Can we not shoot him from here? Maybe not. You can see Conrad Voidveer clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them. We are out of time. Aethelthrad bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You see a wave ripple across the whites of Aethelthrad's eyes, and they begin to turn a sickly yellow. Okay, that complicates things. I'm just going to say, ready your weapons. If we are to die this day, let us die with honor. No, to die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to perish in the dark. It will not be like this. Not today. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it, and you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm, and farewell. Accursed traitor, a time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death. What? Theodora is dead? Voidfist stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't...
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
Run, fools, or fall!
Okay, that's a warp creature right there. To use the unique abilities called Heroic Acts or Desperate Measures, momentum is required. Depending on the actions of your party in combat, the momentum bar will increase or decrease. A high momentum value allows a character to use a Heroic Act. A low value grants access to Desperate Measures. Both abilities can completely change the course of a battle, but every party member can either use one or the other, and only once in a single combat. That should be fine. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Nice and simple. Oh, that guy just went sliding down the stairs. Love that. Alright, so Argenta, yeah, you will literally just murder someone in the back there, I guess. Nice and easy. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Okay, Abelard, I think we're probably going to have to get him into the battle here. Literally just move him into melee range. And unfortunately, he's going to have to be the one that attacks this first. Hopefully the Chaos Spawn will attack him back. I'm actually going to think about using... I think I will use Endure. I don't see a problem why I wouldn't do that, to be honest. And it lasts one second. It lasts one turn as well. Okay, yeah, so he can actually devour from a really, really long way away. I didn't actually know that. I thought he would have to be close. So that's the reason why I why I did what I did. Let's just say that. Okay, well that doesn't help me that much then, does it? Oh, and there he goes. Yeah, it was just a case of using defenses and then beating on him and shooting him and using all kinds of things against him. And then, well, you saw the result. We were able to win. And we have a blade shard, a blade made from a mysterious metal that shimmers with unnatural colors. And we also got gloves of endurance as well. Whenever the wearer of these gloves gets an injury or falls unconscious in combat, their allies gain a +1 bonus to damage. Not entirely sure if we really want our people to, you know, fall unconscious and things, but yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Okay, so we can actually level ourselves up right here. So let's have a look. We got Daring Breach as well right now. And, oh, hello. We actually have a talent available here too. Okay, what is this? Whenever the warrior is attacked, they gain +1 stack of Epicenter of Slaughter until the end of combat. At the start of their turn, the warrior gains +1 temporary wound for each stack. These temporary wounds cannot exceed the warrior's toughness bonus. I'm actually not entirely sure. I think I'm probably going to take that. I think that sounds pretty cool. So that's what we're going to take. And we're probably going to take a very similar thing with... Abelard as well, because I kind of want them to have similar builds, even if it's not particularly good, but I think that it's probably going to be quite fun. And what else do we have here? Reduces toughness and willpower. Ooh, that could be actually pretty useful. Whenever the operative triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operative gains +1 damage and +2 armor penetration. That could be kind of useful. But we're using psychic abilities, so I'm not sure. Exposed weakness costs 0 AP. Okay, that sounds pretty fun. Why not? Let's do that. And then we have Argenta here, obviously. She's a soldier as well. So let's see. Firearm mastery, that's nice. Exploit surroundings. Cover efficiency is increased by 10% for full cover and +20% for partial. Whoa, that's actually really good. Okay, whenever the soldier deals damage, their critical damage is increased by 1% until the end of combat. Gains critical... Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. Revor, Master Helmsman, System Status Report. By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Reform, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valentius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence. He directs your attention upward, to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. I am ready. Begin the ritual. And now we have to take the Lord Captain's place. Oh, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I was actually kind of hoping that she wouldn't die, though, as a result of this. But, you know, there you go. Anyway, ceremony. This is the ceremony we've all been waiting for. I have my wonderful blue cape. The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire, the other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp. Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world, pitiful, worthless links ready to shatter at the slightest touch, a muddled, erratic, pointless tangle. It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has finally invaded your mind. What do you want with me? Your head begins to spin, your stomach turns, and viscous drops slither down your cheeks. You blink, and you are no longer looking at Theodora. It is the traitor Voidfear, just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seethes from his lips. This shard of reality drifting through my domain is merely the arena for the one who dared to seek the favor of the gods. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, to procure that which elevates a mortal above others. A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable. Well then, your lordship. You cannot help but notice that the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by the deputy's deputy, while others go unfulfilled entirely, and now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. Ooh, looks cool. It is an honor to serve, your lordship. The Voxmaster offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Revor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin, large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. "Hail, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief." And lastly, our high factotum, Janrus Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. "It is an honor, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard." In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery, the Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires, and lastly the Drives Master, servant of the Omnisire. The 3 officers salute you. Thank you. Greetings to you all. And so we can now hear all of their reports. Your eternally esteemed predecessor brought the ship here to this system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything. And I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Koronus Expanse. Okay, well, I would be honored to fulfill the Inquisitor's commission. What is it he asked? Or we can say this. I'll just say one. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrich von Kalox. Ah, yes, we already read it. I'm so sorry, Abelard. I already snooped a little bit. That is all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon you must take up the reins of the von Valancius Protectorate. Alright, so on your travels you hear many rumors. This is what I was talking about earlier in the episode. Those of them that are deserving of the rogue trader's attention are logged in a separate section of the journal. Sometimes rumors are just that. Other times there is truth to them, and in some cases there may be even more. To verify a rumor, travel to the place indicated in the rumor's description. While traversing the Koronus Expanse, as the rogue trader, you are bound to hear rumors regarding your own deeds and exploits, some of which reflect the reaction of the Expanse's denizens to the choices you've made. And that is exactly what I love about games like this. Idira, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Idira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but it can wait. Speak with me when you have time. Alright, I'm gonna say, come to your senses. Your lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future, and it hit me so hard my head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Chalas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make sense of any of it. Alright. Well, if there is nothing of value, there we go. Let's continue onward. The events of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Koronus Expanse. This sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You'll find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the Expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects you can interact with. Such objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to a point of interest, then click on this to initiate the event or open the planet view. So you can see here we now have, this is where we are right here, and if we go over there, we're going to go to the guide, going to get a point of interest. I think we should probably go to the Minoris. Can we actually go there? There it is. It's all the way over there. That's actually quite far away, so I guess we'll just go here first, and as you can see, we just travel there straight away. Lord Captain reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continued to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Urak 5, yes, being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite house requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. And now we have a choice. As you can see, we have a choice. So I'm actually going to order the Augur crew to scan the station. Or we can negotiate personally. That might be quite fun. The Vox relays the cadent sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I am sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you'll have to look for the esteemed navigator's blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. And here we go. Alright, so it's not responding to any signals, but the auger arrays have detected biological signatures. So we should, well, we should probably go there.
You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet-black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the seer souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Alright, so I'm gonna say desist, brother. It was the Emperor's will that has brought me to this abode. The navigator frowns. No one has the right to interpret his will so freely, brother, but wait. I recognize your coat of arms. You must be a lord of the von Valancius dynasty. Yes, I am absolutely positive, in fact. And since fate has brought such an important person into my abode, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felek Christoph August, keeper of this station. So, you did not come to offer support to the traitors. This is good news. Having said that, you must understand that Uruk 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Well, I am actually looking for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator. Wait a minute. Do I really want to say exactly that? I'm going to say, provide me with a navigator. No. I'm just going to say, provide me with a navigator and I will immediately depart the station. I do not think this is possible. Uruk 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of infinity and chart the movements of the warp storms, and besides... Felek gestures of the disorder around him. You have chosen an inopportune time for negotiations. Well, what about, what is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal, a most banal thing in the life of the Nobilite, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Uruk 5, and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum! I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felek falls silent for a few moments, and then furiously slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia, and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her, or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. Oh, love this. I absolutely love this, because it literally allows you to just attack him. You can literally just attack him. The best CRPGs will literally allow you to do whatever. And this is exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. Alright, so what kind of help are you talking about? Or I still have some questions. Or taken by force. Taken by force? Okay, you know what? Sure, I'll help you. I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felek takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. And yet, Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How am I supposed to power it, then? We're situated in the guard room. Okay, yeah, sure. How do I remake the control rod? A phylactery. The tech priest ceaselessly performed that. Okay, let's do it. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator from her woes. There we go. Alright, fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. So technically I could have just taken this guy, right? I'm actually not entirely sure, but I could have just attacked him straight up. I literally could have just attacked him. Anyway, that is probably going to be it for this episode, and I would highly recommend checking out Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. It is looking to be amazing. Character choices, all kinds of things that actually impact your character, and I really just cannot wait to see what we end up looking like towards the end of the game. I'm gonna continue, and we'll see what happens actually here, because these characters are all extremely different as well. Really, really loving that. And I can't wait to explore some more of the system as well. This is basically just one system as well, by the way. This is just one of many, and you're going to be able to explore a huge amount of them. So it's great. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.